Deep inside a vast and ancient forest, far away from cities and modern life, there stood a small settlement of wooden huts. The people who lived there were simple folk. They hunted, gathered berries, grew small crops, and lived peacefully among the tall trees. They wore rough woolen clothes, cooked food over fire pits, and used lanterns instead of lamps. Most of them believed that the forest was the entire world. Among the villagers lived two close friends named John and Billy. They had grown up together since childhood and were known throughout the settlement for their strong friendship. Among them was old Thomas, the oldest man in the settlement, whose beard was as white as snow. He would warn the children about the deeper parts of the forest. Listen carefully, young ones, old Thomas would say in his rough voice. Beyond the great black oak trees lies the forbidden woods. Many paths twist there, and strange creatures roam at night. No villager who wandered too far ever returned. Because of these warnings, no one dared to explore far beyond the known trails. One evening, years ago, young John and Billy sat near a small stream not far from a village. Billy said, "One day we will go to the jungle and change the fate of our village." One cold autumn afternoon, while helping his grandmother clean an old storage hut, John found something strange inside a dusty wooden chest. It was an ancient parchment map. He was amazed to see that ancient map. The map showed the village, several forest trails, and deep inside the woods there was a mark labeled "Hidden Chest of Gold." John hurried to Billy's hut. "Billy, look what I found." Billy spread the map across a wooden table lit by a lantern. By the old spirits of the forest, this must be real treasure. Before sunrise the next morning, John and Billy packed their bags with dried meat, bread, rope, and lanterns. The forest grew thicker as they walked. Tall trees blocked most of the sunlight. Strange sounds echoed around them: howling winds, cracking branches, and distant animal cries. "This forest has frightened our people for generations," he said. Billy placed his hand on John's shoulder, "and today we learn whether those fears are true." "See," Billy said with a grin. "A hard road is just a puzzle waiting to be solved." Soon they were crossing an old wooden bridge which was too old to be crossed. They were too much afraid but kept moving carefully. Suddenly the one piece of the bridge broke and Billy was about to fall on the rocks under. But John saved his friend. Later that night heavy rain welcomed them. BCZ of the slippery ground, Billy fell again and was slipping down, but John again grabbed his hand and saved him. "If we were alone," John said breathlessly, "this journey would have ended long ago." Billy nodded. That's why good friends travel together. Enter text. After 2 days of wandering through the forest, they finally reached the place marked on the map. In a quiet clearing stood an enormous ancient oak tree, its roots twisting through the soil like giant snakes. Soon they uncovered an old wooden chest covered in rusted iron. Gold coins, silver goblets, and sparkling jewels that glittered even in the dim forest light. When John and Billy returned to the village carrying the treasure, the villagers were amazed. Even old Thomas could hardly believe their story. And the story of John and Billy became a legend told beside the fire every winter night. Moral of the story: true treasure is not gold or jewels. It is courage, wisdom, and loyal friendship that help us overcome fear and discover new possibilities.